Alright. Sound check, sound check.
Where's my snare? And where's my snare? Hey, yo. Okay, it says, thank you for making this a smoke-free, a drug and alcohol-free, a violence-free, and a hate-free loving environment.
Hugs off the bus. That's what they gave you.
Yep. As soon as you get off the bus to get on the Haley farm, we all got a bunch of hugs. There's 3 of them lined up in a row.
Yeah.
It's a pretty warm welcome.
It's a lot of love. It was good.
Here's a labyrinth, but it was kind of
This is
goofy.
The Wright house.
Yeah, this is Jeremy Wright's house. That's his house.
The house that Jeremy Wright built.
It's next to this other. There's a lot of log cabins there. But I was actually able to give me some peace and quiet, you know, while I was there. And I think that's actually the essence of the Alex Haley Children's Defense Fund farm. It was the peace and the serenity.
I believe every log cabin had at least 2 rocking chairs on every porch. So.
Oh yeah, that one had 6. There's
Yeah,
3 on each side. There's 3 of them in there. There's 4 of them.
Right.
And this one.
This is the Bethune Height House, named after Mary McLeod Bethune and Dorothy Height. And it was just another place to stay, but we didn't stay there though.
Dorothy Height was a 60s activist. She actually just recently died. She was a book we studied.
This was actually the
Ambassador Shabazz's class.
This was the walkway over the pond with the gazebo in the middle of the pond, which is pretty cool because the night before we sat there and had a pretty good conversation.
Yeah, had a good heart-to-heart talk.
Yeah, and it was pretty good. This lake is actually a heated lake, and it heats up the whole land.
You were saying before it didn't have no fish too.
Yes, it does. It has fish in it, but you cannot fish in that pond.
Why not?
That's what Mike told me.
Oh,
you
okay.
can't fish in the
Just
pond.
you weren't allowed to.
But you can fish in the river.
There's a bunch of geese crap or poop. I guess we're keeping this
Poop.
PG-13.
This was
poop.
the Ark.
Yep.
Which
you probably
was a chapel actually.
And you probably could only get like a dozen animals though in it. It's not as big as Noah's Ark, is what I'm saying.
Well, Mike
I think that thing would sink anyway.
He said this
You'd
was
have to flip
actually
it
the
down.
exact. This was the exact
Coordinates in the Bible.
coordinates in the Bible.
Yeah.
But if so, then
They were underestimating how huge an elephant and a blue whale and giraffes.
Well, the blue whale wouldn't have to go. There.
Hippos. 2 of every kind.
Land animals.
2 of every kind.
But you figure if it's already in the water, it can get flooded.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the
That's
trail.
a good point. But still, even with the land animals, you couldn't fit all of them.
This is valid point. But this is the trail that just walked all the way around. It went all the way around the whole grounds.
Yeah, they had a lot
guard
of
station.
trees and weeds all around the property.
Yeah.
And I had set the alarm off. That's what you were hearing before. And there was nobody in the shack. There was nobody in the security guard shack. There's an 82-year-old man that actually worked there. Here's just a walking trail, just kind of the
back parking lot. That's what that was, actually.
There's Mike, cowboy.
Oh, you don't want me on that, trust me.
I think he's just crew, but he kind of give us a down low on how things are running around here and some information about the. He said that the chapel, they didn't do any weddings.
Yeah, that was kind of.
I mean, it's a chapel. I mean, it's
funny.
Why wouldn't? I like the lights here.
Yeah, the lights are pretty cool.
It seemed like a new age how they just hang down.
Well, yeah, Mike, he knew the whole grounds inside out. Every square inch, he knew. So
that was weird though about the
pretty
chapel. Cool. I mean, they have a chapel. Why wouldn't you want more people to come to the property? Because I heard that like their business model didn't even seem like they make that much money. It was named after Lynch, which is odd. And then there's a quote: "The good neighbor looks beyond the external accidents and discerns the inner qualities that make all human beings and something brothers."
Had abusive relationships with it from whatever.
So basically, he turned a negative
the
into a positive.
peace and-
Yeah.
But
Just seems like if you want to make a good business model, I mean, weddings is the birth of family, and families are the bedrock of civilization.
Right.
So why would you not want to support the bedrock of civilization with a cool facility? That would be a cool place to have a wedding.
Right.
You can open the back doors, and you have 40 people on the back patio. So if it's like in the summertime, you could open it up. Invite lots of people. That'd be really a good place, cool time.
Yeah, but you guys got to remember it's federally funded. So
No, I heard they
Not
don't
federally
take
funded,
any
but-
government money.
not federally, but
It says
privately funded. That's what it is.
right. It's a weird old statue there. The Children's Defense Fund began in 1973. It's a private, non-profit organization supported by foundation and corporate grants and individual donations. We never take government funds.
Yeah.
Langston Hughes Library.
That was probably the dopest thing there.
It was pretty cool.
'Cause I could have stayed in there the whole time.
And they said that it's the only cantilevered barn in the world that has been converted into a library. Ever. So it's a one-of-a-kind, unique facility.
It's,
It does have modern architecture. It seems like when you walk in, it's got, like this shiny wood.
it was designed by Maya Lin.
You got the hanging lamps, too, just like in the other.
She designed the Vietnam's Veterans Memorial, and this was actually funded by Barnes and Noble. So
Yeah, when Alex Haley first bought the property, this was one of the first two structures that was on it. And he had bought the property in 1984.
yep.
And then the Children's Defense Fund bought it in 1994.
Right.
So 10 years later. And for the last 16 years, that's who's controlled it. And they say the Alex Haley Farm is the spiritual home of CDF's Leave No Child Behind movement.
Mm-hmm.
Here, people of diverse faiths, background, and hometowns are knit together as a beloved community united by a common vision for children. So that's the mission statement for this property.
Yeah. This library, though, can't check none of these books out, and it has a special collection. It focuses on books written by and illustrated by African American authors.
And they got some
About the-
comfortable seating there too, so you
Yeah.
could chill out there all day and read them. I think I could have spent all day just reading all the books that they had.
It was a beautiful structure. It looked like crap from the outside,
Yeah,
and then on the inside, it's just beautiful.
yeah.
It was like, wow.
It's the Langston Hughes Library. Langston Hughes. He was the one that
My favorite poet.
the poem "Does It Explode?" A dream. He asks like, "Does a dream deferred? What happens to a dream deferred?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes through several different options, and he's like, "But does it just like wither up in the sun like a raisin, or does it explode?"
Explode.
And I think 1960s actually can be characterized by that single sentence.
My favorite's Negro Speaks of Rivers.
That's
One of my favorites.
Langston Hughes.
Yep.
That's the only one I know of, actually, Langston Hughes. I know he's a poet and a provocateur, but I don't know anything else except for that.
His mind worked in mysterious ways.
Like how?
Like how?
Yeah.
Just read some of his poems. They're pretty out there.
Well, let's see what else is there. Who killed Malcolm X? I think that was the Nation of Islam. It's Farrakhan's henchman.
They had a lot of Malcolm X books I've never seen before too.
Yeah. They had it's what Alex Haley's known for, the autobiography
Yep.
of Malcolm X.
First publication, if I'm not mistaken.